Most traders have no idea where either buyers or sellers are mostly in control. They chase breakouts, they fade blindly, and they wonder why they keep getting stopped out. But when you understand where the market has memory, where volume has actually committed, everything changes. And that's where anchored VWAPs come in. Now, if you're already using VWAP with standard deviation bands like we do in the VWAP Wave system, you understand fair value versus price discovery. But anchored VWAP lets us take that concept even deeper. It allows us to anchor value to any key moment in time, whether it be an economic event, an opening print, a range breakout, economic news, a significant high or low, you name it. So why does this matter? Because you can now see exactly where buyers and sellers have been the most active, initiative or responsive buying and selling, and most importantly, who's still in control. You see, the anchored VWAP gives us a real-time auction lens for the immediate market. We can see short-term balance or imbalance form around these anchored levels, and that's where we get some of the cleanest setups in the entire system. We're not using this tool to predict, we're just reacting to the buying and selling structure, the immediate order flow. If price pulls back and holds at an anchored VWAP, that's strength. If it breaks and reclaims, then that was likely a trap. Either way, now you've got context. It's especially powerful on lower time frames, like the 1 or even the 5-minute chart, where the VWAP wave system already thrives. Whether you're in a micro distribution or a fast-moving trend leg, anchoring with VWAP gives you real precision to trade with the big participants, not against them. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I set up and used anchored VWAPs in the VWAP wave system framework to identify trend strength, structure shifts, and high probability setups rooted in auction market theory. I'm going to show you how to place them, when to trust them, and how they confirm who's immediately in control of the market. So let's jump into the charts, and I'll show you how to start integrating anchored VWAP into your trading right now. The anchored VWAP is simple in theory, but incredibly powerful in application. It's just like standard VWAP, but instead of resetting each session, we get to choose the exact bar, candle, or event where we want to start calculating from. That anchor becomes our reference point, and every tick forward from that point is volume weighted to give us a real-time fair value benchmark from that exact moment. Now here's the key. When you anchor VWAP to structure, you map control. If price is trading above your anchored VWAP, it means buyers from that anchor are still in control. If it's below, they're underwater. That's where traps, bounces, and reclaims come into play. So the obvious question becomes, where do we anchor it? Inside the VWAP wave system, we typically anchor it to one of 4 different moments. Number 1, the session open. This is to see the intraday control from the opening print. Number 2, the breakout candle, especially from a prior value area or initial balance. Number 3, a volume spike candle. This can often be a trap or absorption zone. And lastly, number 4, a significant high or low of the day. This is to see if price rotates back to defend that extreme. Each one tells a different story, but the goal is always the same, to measure the buyer and seller participation. Are buyers defending the level, or do they step in and vanish? This is where it gets tactical, because action context matters. In a balanced market, we're looking to see if price respects an anchored VWAP as a pivot inside the rotation. Price bouncing off an anchored VWAP at the center of value, well, that's going to be strength. Price rejecting it near the edge, well, that could be a fading opportunity. In imbalance, it's quite different. You want to see if the anchored VWAP holds as a support on a pullback, or fails and gets reclaimed in a trap. The best part? This is all self-adjusting. If the move had real volume behind it, the anchored VWAP will attract price back to it like a magnet. If not, it'll get sliced right through, nice and clean. Structure tells you whether to trust the level. It's not just the indicator itself. Here's how we integrate anchored VWAP into the VWAP Wave playbook. Price discovery continuation. We're going to anchor to the breakout bar. If price pulls back and holds that VWAP, that's going to be your entry. Bonus if it lines up with a deviation band or a prior IB level. Return to value. In this case, we're going to anchor to the failed breakout. If price reclaims value and reclaims the anchored VWAP from the move, that's going to be your confluence. Here we'll ride it back to VWAP or point of control. VWAP bounce. In strong trends, I'll anchor VWAP to the session low. If price pulls back mid-trend and defends that anchored VWAP with a reclaim or delta shift, I'm all in. And lastly, fade value area extremes. I'll sometimes anchor to the first rejection candle at the band or a high volume node edge. If price rotates back and respects it, it's confirmation that the fade is still valid. You're going to notice a pattern here. We're layering context, structure, and most importantly, who's in control. So once you have the basics down, this is how you're going to level this up. You're going to start stacking anchored VWAPs from multiple points of control. Try layering session open, the initial balance breakout, and a major absorption candle. When they cluster, those zones become critical decision points. Also, don't anchor just once. Re-anchor mid-session as new ranges develop. This is especially effective during trend days where price builds multiple micro distributions. And finally, combine anchored VWAP with delta. A reclaim of anchored VWAP with cumulative delta surging, that's usually not a head fake. That's going to be the real move. Anchored VWAP isn't just a fancier moving average. It's a dynamic way to track control, a real-time lens into the auction. And when used with the VWAP Wave system, it gives you surgical precision on short-term trades. Balance or imbalance. This tool shows you where the fight is happening and most importantly, who's winning. If you want to see more live examples of this in action, be sure to join my free Discord or grab the full VWAP Wave course setup guide. It's totally free and you'll find the link in the description of this video. Be sure to trade with structure, read the auction, ride the wave. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for future videos, and also we trade live every single morning. Come and join us. Manage your risk and stay sharp out there, traders.